Well, hello, Space Cadets and the vinyl community in general. Uh, Happy holidays. This is a Happy Holidays Lock Grooves. This will probably be the only one that I do this year because, well, it's the night before Thanksgiving, feeling a little festive. So, I got a few holiday spins that I could show off, and I figured I might as well do it now. So if anybody's interested in it, they could listen to them while the season is happening, as opposed to showing them like on Christmas Day when the season's over with and you're already sick of Christmas music. So just kind of relaxing. We got a long weekend, uh, having some Shiner cheer. Our local brewery down here in Texas, the most popular one we have is in a town called Shiner. And it was established in, I think it was like 1904, 1908, in the early 1900s by some German immigrants. And really what they knew how to do was make beer. So they opened up a brewery. And it's some of the best beer that you can have. And it's a mainstay here in Texas, Shiner beer. So and they have seasonal beer. They have Oktoberfest, and they have the kind for the holidays. I think this has got some like peaches and pecans in it. But let's get down to the meat of usually what we talk about. And since it is the night before Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for a lot of things, and to everybody out there that watches or likes or subscribes, and everybody in the vinyl community, I'm thankful for you. I mean, you are part of my family, whether you even know I exist or not, or whether I know you exist. I'm thankful for you. So I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful to still have a job, because without that, there's none of these. So, I've been watching some videos. I try to watch a couple of videos every day. And, there's the staples, Derek Higgins and Big Star 1000. I like Roger Coleman and Carm. I mean, I don't know what your handle is, man, but I'm liking you. I'm digging you a lot too. And then there's another guy I just discovered. He's been around for years. That's what's so funny. These guys can be around for years, and you just find them. Mean Mr. Mayo, and he basically a Beatles freak. Everything that not everything, but he kind of revolves around a Beatles universe. But he is funny. And he goes to a record store and it interacts with the record store characters, and I'm really into this guy. I like to watch his videos, and you might check him out. Me, Mr. Mayo. He'll probably never watch one of my videos. I'm too, I guess, out there. He doesn't like the new stuff. I show new stuff, but regardless, I kind of enjoy his channel. So, but the first one up, and it's kind of become a Thanksgiving Day record, even though a lot of people can't figure out why, and the artist himself has said, I don't know why it's Thanksgiving, because it wasn't meant to be a Thanksgiving Day song. And the song can mean, or the album, but really it's the song, can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. And then that's Arlo Guthrie's Alice's Restaurant. I mean, it was written basically to be a Vietnam protest song, and it does a real good job of it. But it's an epic folk song. I mean, it's 20 minutes long, and it tells a great story of that happened on Thanksgiving. I mean, who wouldn't want to sit up in that church loft and have a Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat with Alice and her husband Ray? So once a year, I listen to it a couple times a year, but at least every year around this time, I drag this out and listen to it, and we listened to it today. This copy right here came from my Aunt Marilyn, who sent this to us. Now I have another copy that was like the best of Arlo Guthrie, and one side plus I think one song was basically Alice's Restaurant. But my Aunt Marilyn sent this one to us. So that's a shout out to you. I know you watch, and thank you for the record. And we've listened to it already. There's a movie that goes along with this as well. And it's not, it's not that good. I think they were just trying to cash in on the song. It gets a little dramatic. I don't know. I mean, it's okay, for its times, it's okay. But I always listen to this at this time of year. Alice's Restaurant. So that's Thanksgiving. So I'll show you some like Christmas stuff that that we have just to cover the next month. So this band, I've shown one of their albums before. It's called the Polyphonic Spree, and the lead singer Tim DeLauder used to be in a band called Tripping Daisy, and in the late 90s, probably 98 or 99, their lead guitarist passed away, and they dissolved Tripping Daisy, and he created the Polyphonic Spree, which can have up to 22, 23 members, and they are robed. It looks like a commune up on stage, excuse me. And they love Christmas. They have a Christmas extravaganza every year here in Texas. And they put out a Christmas album a couple years ago. And this is their lineup at the time. I think this was 2014. Maybe 2013, I can't remember. And Tim signed it. This is Tim, actually it's 2012, there it is, right there. Time flies, huh? So, it's a Smile, Tim, 2012. And when they were putting this out, they said they were showing us videos of them making it, and I mean, it showed the most psychedelic LP you've ever seen in your life. I mean, like the best tie-dye looking thing. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta get this. But when it arrived, it was just red. And everybody who seems to have gotten this just got a red one. So I don't know where the psychedelic ones went. But it doesn't matter. I mean, this is my favorite Christmas album. I mean, it's a psychedelic Christmas album. It's hard to... they're already a psychedelic band, and it's kind of hard to beat their sound. I mean, you can't mask it. Whatever they sing, I mean, they can sing the phone book. It's going to be psychedelic. So, Christmas songs and psychedelic, they actually do go together very well. So anyway, I recommend this. If you can pick it up, whether vinyl, CD, or download it, it's the Polyphonic Spree Holiday Dream. Sounds of the Holidays, Volume 1. So, hopefully there's going to be a Volume 2 soon. And here's a good one. Imogene Peace. Now the story goes that Imogene Peace was a woman who lived in Iraq and made this album, and it's Christmas standards basically. It's kind of a jazzy piano Christmas standards type album, and it's really psychedelic. And not much is known about her except for 1978 she committed suicide. But really, the real story is this is a Flaming Lips album. The Flaming Lips love Christmas. And Stephen Drozd of the Flaming Lips, this is basically his baby. It's a jazz piano album that's full of echo. So it gives it that psychedelic effect, that real trippy effect. And it's got like a fake crackle of a record that's going all the way through us. So it gives it like you're listening to something really old and dusty, and it works really well. And I guess it's supposed to be Imogene, but the lips, they always do crazy things like this, and that's the story. I don't think really anybody bought it, but it's Imogene Peace, Atlas Eats Christmas, and of course, if you say it really fast, at least it's Christmas. And then I'm sure that these, it says 1973, so I guess she supposedly would have recorded it in 73 and then killed herself in 78. But I recommend this one too. You know, this is something we picked up at a dollar bin. We were just kind of digging around, and I looked at the inside, and I was like, that is psychedelic. You know, that we must have this. I don't care what it sounds like. You know, we gotta have this. And it looks like maybe it's laminated, maybe because it was for a library. Yeah, that's what it's got, the library card holder. And it's a double album of organs and chimes, and basically, once again, Christmas standards by a person named Robert Rhymes. And it originally came out in 72. This pressing was 74. There's no CD pressing. And it sounds okay. You know, it sounds like you might think. It's just Christmas, you know, Here Comes Santa Claus or Jingle Bells or whatever on an organ and bells and chimes. It's not as nearly as psychedelic as, you know, that's just plain weird looking, but cool in its own right. But we did pick that up. And it does get played every once in a while. And every year we get a Nutcracker, and this year, can you guess what this is? It's a hipster. First you're thinking it's probably like a lumberjack, right? But no. I mean, a lumberjack would have like the lumberjack flannel vest and all that. This has got the tacky sweater. He's drinking a mug of coffee. His pants don't go all the way down. So, I mean, this is definitely a hipster. You got the hipster beard. So, we had to get this one. This is our Nutcracker for 2016. Got a couple of CDs to show you as well. Speaking of the Flaming Lips, a couple years ago they put out a movie that they actually made in their Wayne Coyne's backyard called Christmas on Mars, and I haven't. And it's okay. I mean, the movie's good. I mean, I've only watched it once, so that might tell you a little bit about it. It's worth a one-shot watch. It can be a little boring at times, but it's self-made. It took them years and years to make this thing. The soundtrack is basically, because you get the soundtrack as well with this. You get the movie and the soundtrack. It's not your typical Flaming Lips songs. It's all instrumental, almost orchestrated, but it is psychedelic. So it's got that going for it. So it's good. I mean, I recommend checking it out if you can see it online, maybe, or listen to it. And here's one that's just crazy. Sufjan Stevens, Silver and Gold. And every couple of years he puts out a little box set of Christmas music. And I'm thinking this one's got like 58 songs on it. And he goes nuts. It is really psychedelic, electronic. Some of it's original. Some of it's creepy. Some of it's just way out there. And each CD's got about, well, this one's got like 9 songs. It's like a full CD. Some of them got anywhere, I guess, between 5 and 10 songs on them. This one's got 9 songs as well. They each have a little name or a theme. Christmas Infinity, this one. So, I Am Santa's Helper. And then this one right here is my favorite, Christmas Unicorn. It's a 12-minute epic song, and there's 9 songs on that one too. So it's crazy. And then I don't know. I guess you can make your own ornament with this. I've just left it unsealed. There's stickers, lots of stickers. There's a booklet. In this booklet here. You know, I've never really looked at this booklet. It's just, I don't even know what's in it. Now that I'm looking at it, it's kind of looks like some code for something, and then some old pictures. So that's kind of cool. So if you're into weird, tripped out, psychedelic Christmas music, this is another one to add to your collection. There's a cool Santa Claus with an axe, or a skeletal Santa Claus. And then I guess this little fold-out poster. Of a bunch of twisted things that you wouldn't expect to see for a Christmas. But anyway, this is also one of my favorite Christmas albums. It's really good. It gets a lot of play. And here's one that's not really Christmas, but it's kind of in that tradition. It's an album by the Trees community, and it's an album called The Christ Tree. And basically the story behind this was it was a group that was formed in the 70s. Let's see if I can kind of, the booklet fell out. See, there's 4 CDs there. It was a group that was formed in the early 70s, kind of out of a commune, you know, or the commune scene back then. And they made one album that came out in 1975 called The Christ Tree. It was a group of people, and they were Christian folks, and they just traveled around in a bus and went to churches and performed their own songs. But what's so attractive about this is kind of reminds you of well, I know it's Christian songs, but it reminds you of freak folk. You know how back in about 2000 to 2004 we had that explosion of freak folk all over the place, like Espers and oh gosh, Devondra Banhart, and there's more. I can't think of everybody. Forsaxa out of Philadelphia. There was a big scene that came out of Philadelphia. It was freak folk, and it was just kind of like dark, weird, twisted, psychedelic folk music. And they drew their inspiration from a lot of these folk artists in the 70s. And the Trees were one of them. You know, even though it was Christian and Christian music, they were kind of communal. And they traveled around. And so, just basically, I was just showing that because it had a Christian theme, and it's a Christian holiday. And that made me want to bring out something that has nothing to do with the holidays, and that's my favorite book, Commune USA. I guess probably another thing that drew me to that was, they were born out of a commune. And that's always been, I would never live in one, but back around that time, about 2000, when I picked it up, I was obsessed with them. was living in Oregon, and lots of hippies there, lots of free-thinking people. And I was just about to the point where I wanted to give up technology altogether and just move into one. And this book is wonderful, man. It was written by a guy named Richard Fairfield, and it really takes you into the heart of the early 70s communes. And I just threw this in there because we were talking about the trees and kind of where they came from. And the last thing I have to show you tonight, more holiday cheer, is this DVD that I picked up. I think it was like 2 years ago for Record Store Day, and like the day after, I think it's called Black Friday's Record Store Day. It wasn't the typical one, it was the one like the day after Thanksgiving. And it's a DVD called Jingle Bell Rocks. And basically it's about people like us, record collectors, people who just are crazy about vinyl, except for they hunt for a specific genre, and that's holiday music. And it's really cool. It's got a lot of folks that you probably, that I know you've heard of. Flaming Lips. It's got John Waters. It's got Run DMC, because they talk about Christmas and Hollis. It's a fun little tidbit, you know, to add to your holiday viewing or your holiday media, whatever it may be. And I suggest if you can find it, or you know, watch it someplace. I don't know if you can watch it online, but you can at least watch the trailer and kind of get a feeling for it. Jingle Bell Rocks. And it's, like I said, just about a bunch of record nerds like ourselves that they don't really care about. I guess we all have that one genre that we like. And my dream, I guess, one day is to have the most extensive space rock collection in the world. Now, will that ever happen? Probably not. You know, I wonder if somebody does have it on vinyl. And I wonder who that person is. It could be one of you. You know, it could be hidden amongst your 20,000, 30,000 records that you have. You know, if you were just to boil it down, you may have the most extensive space rock collection. I have a lot of different things in my collection, but you know, mostly that's what I focus on. And these people in the movie are focusing on holiday music. That's about all I have. I just kind of wanted to wish you guys happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays. I probably won't make another holiday video. This is it. And if any of these albums, you know, you found cool, go ahead, check them out. So we'll see you next time, and happy holidays.